it's a person who preaches and gives out the word of the Lord to officers, mostly when you are in a camp for the officers or when you are in the force. That is the basic explanation that I can be able to get, because even me, place to place to see whether they can be able to get a job to sustain. This is why they depended on him. He was the sole breadwinner of the family. So coupled with the idea of taking care of the family and his siblings and himself and his health, my lady, please forgive me. But this forgiveness, let us match it also with the family. And I'm telling them, and I know they're here, you will have to forgive him. Please, you need to heal. Start by forgiving him. Then he will heal. The children are not going to school anymore. They are being chased because of fees. If he's not out there anymore, they end up like him, not being able to go to school and starting to look for something to do. The last born was born when he's in custody. He has never laid eyes on that child. He has not. This child needs his care, needs his guidance. He cannot depend on them. Inasmuch as the neighbors have spoken very well of him, the chief has spoken very well of him, the family members have spoken very well of him. They cannot take that responsibility of taking care of the children. He must do it by himself in a way he knows how, in the best way possible. Just like the first accused person. The accused person has taken up a lot of studies. He was religious from before. He used to teach in churches, in schools, in Syokimau, the Sunday schools and all. He used to do that. But he wanted to further that. He has done more than 12 courses while in custody. More than 12 courses. And now, he has registered with the PCA University on a degree course in theology. We are looking, my lady, at a person who is shaping up to be a better person than he was before. He has done a journey, the prisoner's journey course, which he completed. He's done a course from Nuru Lutheran Media University, which he has completed. A certificate from Bible League. An advanced diploma in theology from Presbyterian University. A diploma course from Presbyterian Church of East Africa. My lady, it is what I'm holding in my hand are all diplomas, and there are very many. So for a person to have done about 12 diploma courses and certificates and want to enroll in the university and trying to take care of everything else, the family, their needs and all that, give him that chance, my lady. That is what we'll ask. Give him that chance. Keeping him in custody will not serve the purpose of making him a better man. Releasing him will make him a better man. because he'll have had that chance. These courses that then he is doing, that he believes in, that is in his faith, who do they benefit at the end of the day? Not only him, but the people that he will be talking to. And part of the things he'll tell them is, crime does not pay. He comes to you, my lady, also on bended knee. And as he makes this request, he says, you are the only one now with that pen in your hand that can make that decision, that can determine his course, that can shape his life. I don't want to say, my lady, that maybe you have feelings or sentiments. Let me avoid that. But what he has done, doesn't it touch the court? Doesn't it touch the heart? And if it does so, then let's excavate them. He apologizes to the court. He apologizes to the members of the family, to the victims. His fate is in your hands, my lady. My lady, he reminds me that he was also a chaplain, not only in the church where he was in Tokimau and home, but also at the prisons. I think he prays for some of these officers, some of the blessings probably that they have received. That is what I wish to say today. Lives are shocked. Yes. The family has been living, I mean, the members of the community where he lives are still in shock because they know him as a good person who does projects back home, who tries to help even neighbors. They knew him as a good man. They knew him as a good police officer. And I know that for the victims, these things did not matter. They did not want to look at them that way. And they'll be asking that if you were to sentence him, give him the maximum custodial sentence or the maximum punishment in this act. But those are feelings that they will be able to express because at that particular moment, they are speaking probably in anger and probably in pain. Sieve that, my lady. Sieve that pain for the moment. Because as I said earlier on, we need all to heal for it to take to the next step. From the probation officer's report, you will notice that there was a mistake on the force number. I'd like to maybe indicate that the force number for the accused person is 221056. 221056. And personal number is 1996 067 935. Marry the second accused person, Cheburet. Marry, he's 53 years old. He was born in 1969. His situation is pretty pitiable, my lady. He went to school when he's actually beyond the ages of starting to go into school, you know, like let me conclude by saying that when he did his KCPE, it was in 1986. For a person born in 1969 to do his KCPE in 1986, then you can see that that is a period of time. Why? It's the explanation is that the family is pathetically poor. Pathetically poor. He kept on going to school and dropping out and being chased. So by the time he was doing his primary school, you can see the numerous times that he had been chased from school. When he went to Form 2 to school, he dropped also in Form 2. Why? There was no fees anymore, he had no money of any kind anymore. He was the last born of 5 children. His parents passed away when he was still young. And the burden of taking care of the family, in as much as he had elder brothers and sisters, still had to fall back on him. He joined the police force. In 1989, 17th January. Melody? He has worked as an administration police officer. Then when he realized that the income probably, and at that time, was very low, he decided to stop being a police officer and became a chief. He became an assistant chief for a period of time. It was not working. So what does he do? He decided to go back to the administration police because of the complications that would come also with the constitution. Because of his good character as a police officer and effectiveness as one police officer, the administration police took him back. He was posted to various places, eventually ending up in Syokimau police force. This incident occurred he was also arrested on the 1st day of July 2016. Important to note, my lady, that from that time onwards, he has never been released on bond. And I know we had made numerous attempts, but the court had its reasons. But we'd want that time that also that he has been in custody to also be put into the picture, so that when we paint a whole picture, we know that for 6 years, he has not been free. From the medical report, you will note that he has been unwell all this period of time. Totally unwell, and even the last time we were in court, he was trying to request so that he can be able to be given special diet and all this. His health has been terrible, even sometimes. In one of the occasions, or 2 occasions, he could not remember, my lady, he could not come to court because he was unwell, including COVID. Let me say that he has had a share of suffering. After he was arrested on the 1st of July 2016, he retreated into his corner and started to do a little bit of soul searching. Soul searching, then indicates to him that what had happened, the incident that they have been convicted of, was wrong. It was not a good deed. 3 people lost their lives. So he suffered 3 times every time he thought about it for the 3 lives. He suffered 3 times. Multiply that by 6 years on a daily basis. I would not be ashamed to say that he has suffered. It has been a painful moment, coupled up with his illness. So let me excavate the feelings again, my lady, and see whether you can be able to look at him in that light and see that time served is sufficient. You will notice from the probation officer's report, he is a first offender. If he is a first offender, my lady, then you start to look at him with those forgiving eyes. His record has been impeccable. So when you convicted him and read the judgment, he knew that he has served time. He knew that he had done wrong. He knew that probably there is more time to come, but this is what we're trying to see whether you can be able to consider the time served as sufficient. He needs to be able to get out there and be able to take care of himself, because since 2014 when he was unwell and 2016 that he has been arrested, he is not getting better with this treatment. It is said the facilities could be available in the prisons, but they are not helping. Give him that chance. Let him go out there, my lady. Let him be able to take care of himself. When he goes out there, there is no work anymore. He's no longer employed. Today, if the sentence is passed, he's convicted, if the sentence is passed, his job ends. So what does he do? He has to look for something else to do. Look at his age. He's 53. The family that I was born into is a very poor family. And therefore, when he reached Form 2, he had to drop out of school. He had to start fending for himself and members of the family. He had to ensure that his brothers and sisters had to go to school. So he sacrificed his intentions to keep on studying so that his siblings could benefit. By any standards, my lady, that is a good person. To be able to make that work out, then he had to join the force. He decided to join the police force. He joined the AP force in 1996. Yes.
Yes,
He was-
yes.
The first statement should last 15 minutes.
Yes.
Start now. In 1996, he joined the administration police force at the age of 20. In the process of doing that as well, he had to get married, and he married a wife. And as a result of that, he has 4 children. Between the age of 9 and 21. All depending on him. And I'm saying this is because he's a sole breadwinner. And these children are still in school. Whatever he has been getting while under interdiction until this moment has all been going towards that family. towards his brothers, towards his sisters, and the children. He only supplements that from the salary of the wife. He has been a good police officer, and ever since he joined the force, he has worked in very many places, including VIP protection from the former minister, Mr. Michuki. He has also been VIP protection for the Auditor General. People who needed his services, and he offered them. This again, my lady, I must say then, is a good person. He's a person who was effective in his work. And so that as you look at him from that light and see that this is a person, apart from doing work for his family, he's done his work as a police officer in a very good manner. Let me add that from the time he has also been in custody, my lady, he has undertaken courses in religious studies, and has gotten certificates to that effect. The Bible League, where he got a certificate on the 15th of June, 2018. Emmaus Bible School, 22nd of January, where he also got a certificate. To crown it all, he also has a diploma, again on religious studies, from Emmaus Bible School, which by he got the certificate, the diploma by 20th February 2018. Apart from that, there is what they call the prisoner's journey. He has also completed a certificate on that course. So he has also taken to faith. And this again I want to say, my lady, as you look at him, please realize that then he is on a journey to reform. He has taken the right path. So when this often incident occurred on the 20th, convicts now, let me refer to them that way. I have not filed submissions because my intention is to make them oral. I thought that perhaps would be much more effective doing an oral submission for them.
How much time do you need for that?
This being the last shot at it anyway, by my lady, I think I'd take about, for each, for the two accused persons each, about 20 minutes.
I'll give you 15 for it. And then 15.
I think I didn't make a mistake. Then I should have started by saying 30 so that you can make it.
Sure, you can condense. If you filed, now you'd have highlighted.
Yes,
That's
but,
the idea.
Let me see whether I can be able to.
If you file, now will not be talking about this. So I'll give you 15 minutes for each. I'm sure that time is enough.
Received on the 22nd of September. Senior counsel wishes to rely on them fully.
Well, I thought you should have said faster. That's why I gave you the time. You said you are relying on what you
How much of that you rely on them?
Wakili. Umepata?
Mitigation, and the corporation report that is already there, and the report from the prisons, Your Ladyship, on two issues that I wish to rely on. Your Ladyship, the first one is our age, which is in the general region of 30 years. I do not want to be very specific. The second one, Your Ladyship, is that she's now been in incarceration for the last 6 years, since July 2016, for the last 6 years. And over that period, and owing to the circumstances that relate to her incarceration, her health went down, and Your Ladyship has a report of that health situation, which has a lifetime consequence on her. Your Ladyship, as we come before you today, Your Ladyship, we appeal to the subjective considerations that you have to apply in making the sentence, Your Ladyship. I'm just trying to go around the proposition of feelings, Your Ladyship, and I'm saying, at this point of making the sentence, Your Ladyship, the emphasis is on the subjectivity, Your Ladyship, and we appeal that those circumstances do play in your mind, Your Ladyship, her age, her health situation, and the 6 years she has served, Your Ladyship. Your Ladyship, we also pray that you take on board the point that of all the accused persons, she is the junior most. Your Ladyship, in terms of rank. Your Ladyship, we also pray that considering that your conviction stands, Your Ladyship, she in effect stands as a first offender, Your Ladyship. We pray that that fact that she has no other conviction do count in the matrix of your deciding what sentence to pass. Your Ladyship, the other issue we pray that you take on board is what we have said in paragraph 19 of our written mitigation, which is to the effect, Your Ladyship, that she's very sorry, she's deeply sorry on account of the 3 lives that were lost. Your Ladyship, she says that if she were ever to have another chance, she would do anything within her reach to avoid any injury, any hurt, or any death to anybody. Your Ladyship, she is sorry to the family and to the victims. And importantly, Your Ladyship, as a Christian, she prays for the souls of the 3 departed and prays for graces and peace for the families and the victims. I would like to say 2 things about the judgment, Your Ladyship. With the greatest respect, you have made your decision, Your Ladyship, but we pray, Your Ladyship, that being human as you are, you do take into account 2 things, Your Ladyship. One is that in your judgment, the core of our conviction, the foundation of our conviction is found at page 273 and 296 of the judgment, Your Ladyship. Paragraph 273 and 296. In those two paragraphs, Your Ladyship, you said, you made 2 observations about why she's being convicted. The first one, Your Ladyship, is that she was at the station at the relevant time. In the word you used in the judgment, Your Ladyship, is that she was in the post at all relevant times. So that's one issue that weighed on your mind when you are convicting her. And the second one is your leadership, and I will quote what you said. Her role was critical as it was possible for her to thwart the bad intentions of our co-accused just by entering in OB and placing of the deceased in the cells. And so, your leadership, we invite you also in determining what sentence you are to pass, that your leadership takes into account that you did not find her to have played any direct role in the deaths, your leadership. She did not carry a gun, she did not carry a knife, she did not transport anybody, she did not do anything directly related to the killing. And secondly, your leadership, that you did not find her to have been part of any common plan. You did not find her to have been in collusion or collaboration with anybody for purposes of killing. And so, your leadership, we pray that much as you have made your determination in almost the leading case now on the question of a principal offender, much as you have made that decision, your leadership, you do still keep an eye, your leadership, to the proposition that indeed her role, if any, was peripheral. The second one, your leadership, is your leadership, we pray. I know we should be coming on our knees, your leadership, but allow me to say this. We pray that you do accept that you could have gone wrong somewhere, your leadership, in the judgment. Because, your leadership, in your conviction of the third accused, you said that you determined her whereabouts using the telephone data. And that, your leadership, is at paragraph 270 and 272 of the judgment, your leadership. Paragraph 270 and 272 of the judgment, your leadership. The reason why you found her to have been in the location you said in paragraph 273 and 296 being at the post is using the telephone data. And your leadership, we have at paragraph 9.1.1 to 9.1.3, your leadership explained that the data indeed showed she was not there. Or more particularly, your leadership, the prosecution did not bring any telephone data to say, I am being careful, your leadership, I do not want to see.
That. I don't want to sit on appeal on my own.
I understand that, your leadership.
So those ones you can save them for the other court.
Where we might find you again.
I will not sit on it,
Okay,
I can assure you.
Yes, your leadership. But all I'm saying, your leadership, is your leadership, you will be making your sentence partly looking at the judgment, your leadership, and we just pray that you look at those paragraphs. May I leave that issue there, your leadership. I invite you to paragraph 273, 296, 270, 273, 272, and 296, your leadership. Your leadership, we have contended in our submission, your leadership, that over the 6 years, your leadership, she has acquired skills, her outlook has changed, and we pray that your leadership kindly looks at that. And your leadership will be, I have appealed to your clerk, your leadership, document showing that she has taken, she had training in theology and in IT, and while in prison she enhanced her training in the same areas, theology and IT, and in addition did paralegal training in leadership. Your leadership, her character has been forged positively by the prison department who have stayed with her for the last 6 years. And in that report dated 15th of December 2022, Your Ladyship, the prison officer in charge, Langata Women Maximum Security Prison, says of her, Sylvia is a trained paralegal by Justice Defenders and Kituo cha Sheria. Her work of assisting other inmates with legal aid has impacted positively to the institution. Due to that, she qualified to be selected student for paralegal certificate course offered by Strathmore University. And lastly, in addition to that, she has undertaken spiritual programs, namely Prison Journey, Prison Fellowship.
Why don't you give me that?
I have given you, Your Ladyship. I've given you both the originals and copies, Your Ladyship. But allow me to just read 2 paragraphs, Your Ladyship, because it goes into a character. This is what the prison who have been there for the last 6 years say. Sylvia has been disciplined and obedient to the prison authorities and has never been involved in any offense. Her relationship with other inmates is good. She's a team player. She's a positive-minded person who has learned a lot from her past experience. And Your Ladyship, lastly, I would like to make reference to the profession report dated 14th of September 2022. Profession report dated 14th September 2022, where the profession office says, I recommend, sorry, my lady, the accused youth, the given lady is of youthful age, being first offender, intense expression of remorse, has expressed intense expression of remorse over her negligence, positive report from community, family and colleagues. I recommend non-custodial measures, full stop. Granted, the profession service will endeavor to empower her with life skills geared towards assertiveness and problem-solving skills to forestall a possible future occurrence. Your Ladyship, we rely on those reports both from the prison and from the probation report, Your Ladyship, to plead and pray with you, Your Ladyship, that you allow 2 things, Your Ladyship. Number 1, Your Ladyship, that you do allow the 6 years she has served to be deemed to be adequate punishment for the role the court has found her to have been responsible for in the course of this situation, the death of the 3. Your Ladyship, in the event you do find that the 6 years are not adequate, Your Ladyship, and we very earnestly pray that you do. However, Your Ladyship, if you do find that the 6 years are not adequate, Your Ladyship, we very much pray and join in with the probation officer that you do allow whatever residual term you deem necessary to give her to be served outside prison, Your Ladyship. We rely on those arguments, Your Ladyship, and on the 10 reports we have availed, both from Kenyan Prison, from African Prison Fellowship, from Strathmore University, from Justice whatever, and from the professional report, Your Ladyship, and pray that you do find and deem her deserving of a sentence determining that the 6 years served is adequate. However, if there is any more time that she should serve, that she should serve an uncustodial term. That's all, Your Ladyship. Thank you so much for your audience, Your Ladyship.
Mr. Muiruri. For Mr. Muiruri.
Wholly and entirely on written submissions in mitigation for this client. My instructions were to that extent, Your Ladyship, to pray that you do look at you look at his submissions, Your Ladyship, and determine the sentence based on that, Your Ladyship.
Treated to be given these little submissions and to be expected to come up with a ruling on it. But on the 3rd of February, also say something about that bill. So I wish everybody a very good time, holiday time. For those who celebrate Christmas, happy Christmas. And for the rest of you, happy New Year, prosperous New Year. Both stands adjourned.